Hello, everybody. This is Ryan McKinney, and this is my professional e-portfolio overview. I'm going to start off with my candidate info. Here we are. So I just kind of put some information about myself on this one. Currently, I am an educator in Beirut, Lebanon. I am an e-learning coordinator, so I work with implementation of technology throughout our school, K through 12. We just introduced G Suite for education at the school, so that's been taking up 90% of my time, just working with teachers and students, getting everybody on the same page, understanding how to use those tools. So that's been very fulfilling for me. My wife also works at the school as a PE teacher, and we are in our fourth year in Beirut, and we're right at the point of deciding, are we going to stay for another year, or are we going to move to a different country? So that's a big time for us right now. Here we go. I have some of my professional goals on here. I want to become level 2 Google certified educator and trainer, so I need to amend that. I wanted to go to some conferences and present. I've done some in our local area in Lebanon. I presented to some schools and other teachers, but I want to get to more of a regional conferences that I can attend and then hopefully present. One thing, a professional goal that I'm working on, is using the command line tools, GAMX Advanced, and I'm just learning how to use these commands to streamline my my workflow each day. So I'm doing a lot with students' accounts and parent, teacher accounts, and there's a lot of things that I could, if I learn these command line codes, can really improve what I'm able to do. So, and then I also have some of my personal goals over here. In 2 years, I think I see myself probably at a new school, more than likely. I want to be in the same role, education technology coordinator, coach, somewhere along that lines. Maybe in 5 years, go for a doctorate in technology, education technology. And then 10 years, I hope we've the premier and the international is getting into, one of the great schools in Europe and living that life. So that's something maybe we can hope for in the future. Next, I'm going to go to my technology philosophy. This is really great to write, just to put my thoughts down about how I viewed education with technology, how they work together. So this was excellent for my kind of my personal statements that I've been writing to certain schools that I've been looking to apply to, because it really allows me to emphasize what I believe in and how I see technology revolutionizing the classroom and the learning experience for students. So that is here. Let's see, my resume is here. This is a resume that I've been building for several years. It gets better and better, I think, both with the formatting and my experience that I have in it. So I followed the format that Dr. Jones suggested with education, relevant experience. I got some Beirut in there, Beirut, Lebanon, Australia for 1 year, and then China for several years. I got some of my certifications. Our school is a PYP school, which is under the IB baccalaureate. So that's the kind of the curriculum that we follow, as well as having the American diploma. We do the French baccalaureate at our school too. So we have many different paths. The accomplishments I've got, this Google certified administrator was a real goal of mine, difficult test, but I was happy to pass that in my references. Into my activity evidence, I kind of give a brief overview of it here, what you're going to be seeing. Professional development plan. This was something that I had already been working on with my boss. He's the head of the Educational Resources Center. So we have been working on some kind of a plan. It's not as detailed. I think this one is much more detailed, and this is great that I could apply it directly into my job. But this we've been working on how we're going to roll out the G Suite for about I'd say about a year before we did it. So we were kind of planning, running pilot programs. I was just working on, everything that goes on behind the scenes so that when we did a full scale rollout to our 4,500 students and 500 faculty and staff, it went mostly pretty smooth. But there's still things in here that, I went in and retrospectively that I know that were difficult for our faculty and staff. I've added those in here. And some things that I wish I would have done that I didn't have the chance to do at the beginning. So this was really an excellent thing for me to write and to focus on. My training videos, I had the opportunity to do lots of training at the beginning of this year. So I ran 20, 30 sessions throughout the first 2 weeks of school, focusing on all kinds of different technology. So I did an Active Inspire one for the staff. My school, I was previously in the elementary, so I'm very familiar with Seesaw, the digital portfolio. And now that we have Google, we have single sign-on. So I worked with the students about using single sign-on their Google accounts to access their Seesaw journal, which was a fun activity. These kids were in 5th grade, and I had taught them when they were in 2nd grade, so it was nice to be back with them. And then finally, I did a Gmail basics and advanced settings. This is with the faculty. So this was a bit more of a deeper dive. We differentiated teachers in between brand new Google users and those that had used it before. So I thought that was a great way of implementing our ed tech sessions. I have some presentations in here. This one I did on Cami, which is a Google extension PDF reader. It's just it's my go-to extension for reading PDFs, annotating them, marking them up for students. I really enjoy it, and I used eMaze to do it. So I got some pretty good content in here. I feel like it was interesting using this eMaze, and then I was able to even implement a video that was showing how to do it. So that was fun. This is a presentation that goes along with my Seesaw for the students. And this is the ActiveBoard Prezi link that goes along. We're going to move along to my article summaries. So in the article summaries, I focused on 3 different topics. Let's see, the first one, this is the technology transients in educational settings. This was just talking about the preparation for new teachers and how it's constantly, the landscape is changing. How do we prepare teachers to keep up with the ever evolving technology? So that was a very interesting one. Manipulative apps and assistive technology and math. So this was really cool, detailing how they're using iPads and apps to use digital manipulatives for the mathematics classroom. Some really good information in that one as well. And then finally, something that I really enjoy, virtual reality technology and design and education. So this was like 3 different studies, I think, in Iceland or Norway, where they use VR so that people could do their designs and their creations, and then others could view it in 3D in the virtual reality. And as well, there was another study about empathy and how they use VR for people to empathize with those with disabilities. So I thought that could even apply for the assistive technology. So this is a really cool article to read, and I think it came out in 2018, so it's pretty cutting edge. Some extra resources that I've included. Plickers. This is something that was shared with me from one of the secondary educational technology coach. So I did a session with her. She was leading it. So I thought that Plickers was really cool, using AR for a formative assessment of students' understanding. That's pretty interesting. AR and VR are both high up in my what I like to experiment with. Another article, I just always trying to keep up with what's going on with Google and their education, their G Suite. So I thought this one was pretty interesting. This article came out of Pakistan, detailing their experience using Google Classroom in this is in higher education though. And then finally, an online professional development plan from Rockville Center in New York. This was, I was surprised at how expansive the document was and so detailed. So that was pretty eye opening. And finally, I have my reflections here where I have my first one posted from my inside reviewer that's in the class with me. And this is my transference reflection. So that's here, completed, ready to go. I thought this overall, these courses and this program was a great experience for me, both interacting with others in the class and just really getting to experiment with all the different tools and hear people's experiences in the classroom, what works, what doesn't. So I thought that was a great value through the course. And then I have my evaluations that I thought were uploaded here, but we'll have to correct. So thank you. It's been an amazing experience, and I'm happy that I did this program.